6 signs of a stroke people often ignore. Stroke is a life-threatening condition. Actually, it's the 5th cause of death in the US and can happen to anyone. If it doesn't end up fatally, a stroke can cause serious physical and mental damage. A stroke happens when a blood vessel in the brain breaks, allowing blood to leak into the brain. Thus, it can cause severe damage to the brain or even death. The good news is that you can learn to recognize the signs and prevent a stroke from happening. Physical activity, limiting your salt intake, and balancing the weight are some of the ways to prevent it. Here are 6 signs of a stroke people often ignore. Bad headache, migraine. Migraines are a chronic occurrence, which involves a number of potentially treatable risk factors. For example, strokes can cause internal bleeding which will result in migraines and headaches. A sudden splitting headache or a migraine for people who don't have a history of migraines should go and check a doctor. Difficulty thinking. During a stroke, a part of the brain is being starved of oxygen, which leads to thinking difficulties. If you have difficulty expressing yourself or struggle to understand others, there is a possibility or you are in the middle of a stroke. Slurred speech and dizziness. When one side of the brain is affected by stroke, one of the first things which happens is a slurred speech. If you experience trouble speaking or one side of your mouth droops, you should immediately go to the doctor's office. Vision problems in one eye. In case of a stroke, one of your eyes may experience poor vision issues. If one eye is off due to stroke, that will occur a double vision. Very often, the sign of a stroke is mistaken for tiredness from working on the PC too much or reading too much. Fatigue. The body always has a precise amount of hormones, chemicals, and water content. When the balance changes, our body increases the risks of suffering a stroke. If you begin to feel unusually exhausted and apathetic, for no apparent reason, see a doctor. Numbness or weakness in one arm. In the same way as our vision, a stroke affects one side of the body depending on where the blockage or bleeding is happening. Sudden paralysis or weakness in one arm that doesn't go away in a few minutes is a clear sign of stroke.